This is a series. We call these series. What's it going up by? Yeah, so, girls, definition of arithmetic series is basically if you have a series of numbers, if it's going up by a certain number. It can also go down by a certain number. That's what arithmetic series is. Yeah? Girls, I'm teaching now. Now, the first number is always labeled A. Okay? The number that it goes up by is always labeled D. Okay? Now, we can also say the first term is also called T1. Second term would then be labeled T2, T3, and so on. Okay? The first formula that you need to know is this. Okay? This formula gives you the term or the number in any series. Okay? So, for example, from here, let's look at the... girls, you need the examples in front of you to make sense, first of all. Go to the next page. Yeah. So, example 10. Sorry, we're starting with 10. It doesn't make sense to do with 9. I don't like the order. So, for the arithmetic sequence or series, you've got those numbers. I already answered the first two questions for you. Find the value of A, which means the first term, 4. The value of D is what's going up by. That would be 5. So the expression for any term, because notice it's dot, dot, dot. We don't know where it ends. Girls, it's 4. We're just substituting at this case. N minus 1 is, leave it as it is, but my difference is 5. I know the D is at the end there, but it's the same thing as putting it in front. Okay? So if you obviously expand and simplify this, that's your expression for any term in this particular series. Yep, I'm paranoid. Is that actually recording? So obviously, if I wanted to find the 13th term, it will be very time-consuming to write all the way up to the 13th one, right? That's why that formula exists. So if I want to find the 13th term, that means n is equal to 13. I'll just do D here. So T13 means the 13th term would just be 5 times 13. Take away 1, which is... Yeah, but my formula is different to this. Yeah, okay? So girls, that's how you do it. Now, let's have a look at question E. E is going backwards. What's E asking? They're basically asking which term has the number 99. Does that make sense? So the question is, what is n when you have 99 here? Is it the second term? Is it the 56th term? And so on. So, go back to the formula here. Let me rewrite it for you. That means that is 99, and you're looking for n. Yeah, that's pretty straightforward. Yeah, so that means the 20th term in this series is 99. That's all this means. Pretty straightforward. Any questions so far? Now, question 9, I'm just going to verbally explain it. Look at question 9. You've got 11, 15, 19, 23, 27. It's obviously going up by 4 for every single number, so that is an arithmetic sequence or series. They just want you to locate which ones aren't. For example, question B, 10. This is going up by 2. Oh, sorry, I said going down by 2, sorry. This is going up by 3. Yeah, it's not an arithmetic sequence because it's going up by a different number every time. It always has to go up by the same number. That's your first rule. That's all example 9 is, so we can skip that. All right, now let's have a look at example 11. Example 11 is where they don't give you a series, but they just give you facts. So they've given you the fact that T5, which means the 5th term in some series is 7, and the 9th term is minus 5. These, okay, the two terms are in arithmetic sequence. Find the values of A and D and use them to write the first 3 terms. Okay, so it's simultaneous equation, really. Okay, so girls, if it's T5 in this general formula, okay, if it's T5 here, we don't know that, but we do know that. Yep. So what can I write here? We can write A plus 4D.
What? 4. Because 5 minus 1 rows. Oh.
Yeah, so I'm just replacing N. Yep. Yeah. Similarly here, then T9 would be A plus 8D. Yep. Yeah, and we know the values. That's given here. So 7 is equal to A plus 4D. Minus 5 is equal to A plus 8D. Obviously, I won't go through the simultaneous equation because you should know how to do that by now. You'll get A equals to 19, D equals to minus 13. So once you simultaneously equate those and get those answers, that means as a series, you're starting with 19 because that's your A, And then you're going down by 13 every time. So take away 13 to this, that's 6. Take away 13 to that, that's minus 7. Oh, sorry. Oh, I'm so dumb. Sorry, I wrote the question wrong. Sorry, d equals to minus 3, so not 13.
Oh.
Sorry. I was like, why am I getting different answers? Yeah, sorry. It's just take away 3, not 13. I don't know what I'm saying. Yep, so there you go. Yeah, so that's just it. So the sum of, so basically find the sum of all terms from, girls? This means find the sum of all terms from n equals to 2. This is where you start.
N equals to 4.
And then
What's the n squared for?
2. And this is the number you'll be substituting it in to get the actual terms. So your first term, by substituting 2 in there, is 2 squared. And then we're going to do that up until 5 squared. Okay? Now, this sigma notation means add them. It's always the sum of. Okay? You're just substituting the number into the expression to get the terms.
Do you have to do this by hand or can there a calculator?
No, you need to do it by hand. This is the one thing. Okay? So that's 54. All right? Let's do another example similar to that. Let's look at the example B.
What do you need to do it by hand? You just read.
So we got 5, n equals to 1. This time we got 2n minus 1. So, starting with n equals to 1 in here, if I sub 1 in there, that's 2 take away 1, just 1. When n equals to 2, 2 times 2 minus 1, 3. I'm just substituting n equals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, what do you mean?
It's just literally like table of values. What's that? Now, at this point, you know what's going up by. It's going up by 2, so it's going to be 7. Okay, now, we want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, because this means up to the 5th term.
Okay, makes sense.
Now, this is pretty straightforward, but there are questions here that I need to explain. Look at question 3e. Sometimes what they'll do, they'll give... So you know how I got these numbers laid out from the formula? You also need to know how to go backwards and get the formula. This is a bit tricky, so pay attention. Let's have a look at 3e to start off with. So, actually, I think that's not a good idea to start off with. Let's start with question A. So we've got 1 squared, 2 squared, 3 squared, plus all the way to 9 squared. All right, so sigma notation always is what you start off with. Now, what is it starting up with? What's the... So it's starting from n equals to 1, ending at 9. What's the function? So it doesn't have to be n. You can write k, you can write r, doesn't matter. So that's your answer to the first one. Makes sense, yeah? All right, now let's get a bit more advanced. Let's have a look at B. Oh, it's not too bad, but let me write down what they have first. So you got 1 times 3 plus 2 times 4 plus 3 times 5, all the way up to 10 times 12. And we need to know where to start and where it ends and what the function is. So, I mean, we got 1. So, any clues? Yeah, so, yeah, can you see? Now, how do I get this part? Yeah, so starting with n equals to 1, right?
N equals to 10.
Yeah, starting and ending at 10. What do I need? Yeah, can you see this is, yeah, it's trial and error, to be honest. Can you see this? Can you see if I substitute 1 in here, I'm going to get 1 times 3, which is the first term. Same thing here. If I put in 2, that'll be 2 times 2 plus 2, which is 4. So it honestly just comes with trial and error of trying to find the formula. Okay? Is that all right so far? There's no step by step. You're just kind of looking at it. Wait, are you confused with this, Grace?
No.
All right, girls, last question, 3e. 3e.
Oh, I know.
So you got 2x squared plus 3x cubed plus 4x4 all the way to 12x.
To the power of n.
So starting with what I can see, what are we starting with?
2n into 12.
So starting with n equals to 2, ending at 12, what's the function?
Nx to the power of n.
Yeah, nxn.
Yes.
Yeah, can you see if I substitute 2 in there, I get the first term. The next one is 3 and so on. Okay? That's all I have to teach. I think that should be enough to get you through the rest of the exercise. Do all of 18.2 and 3.
All of it? it?
All of it. You need to know how to do all of this.
20?
Yeah, there are different types of questions. You need to know how to do this. It's not something you can skip.
Yes,